Hey everybody, welcome to Making Sense of It All with Jesse Stakes. I am very pleased to bring you Willis Varno. He is with BombTech Golf. Willis, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely, Jesse. I'm happy to be here and talk some golf.
So I really got introduced to you guys through your social media. I think you guys do a fantastic job. Product shows really well, but you guys really do a great job of making sure that you're putting yourselves out there and kind of showing the fun side of the sport.
Yeah, so I definitely appreciate that. Content's new for me, so I stepped up within the last just going on a year of making content. So went in with no expectations and really just went in head first and um, really focused on building my community, like building our community up. We see everyone engaging with the post, and that's what we absolutely love. Um, so that's kind of what we like to see in the post is a lot of people talking in the comments because once people get talking, it's a good thing. So
Well, for most of us, golf is supposed to be fun. It's not a job. It's not
exactly,
it's not something we're trying to go pro in, even if we think we've got some crazy fantasy about the
exactly.
Champions Tour at 50 that people laugh at me about when I say something like that. But no, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something we enjoy doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of our clubs. Our like part of our tagline is built for you and not the pros. So that's exactly what it is. We're built for the average golfer who's going to go out there, shoot 110, want to drink some beers with the boys, enjoy the sun, and all the other things that golf has besides the fun of shooting low, which is some for fun, but there's a million other things about golf that is just as fun as posting a low number. So um, we
No
definitely
doubt.
like to show that fun side. And I mean, I am not a stick or a pro golfer in any way. So I used to say there's no video on the scorecard, but now for me, there is unfortunately video on the scorecard. So yeah, that getting used to that. But yeah, I'm not shameful to show my eights and I'm not a pro, so that's what we're here for, is everyone else. So
Well, and I think some people will hear that and they'll like the first thing that they think is, oh, if it's not made for Tiger Woods, if it's not made for somebody who's playing at the professional level, then they think it's less quality. That's not the case though, is it?
that's not the case at all. It's our clubs are just when we say built for you and not the pros, so they don't need all the forgiveness and everything that we need. So our clubs are built with perimeter weighting. So like on the irons, it's going to go all around the iron. So even if you heel it or toe it, the ball is still generally going to go where you want. Same thing for the driver. If you toe it, you're still going to be like, "Man, that was a pretty good shot." So just because it's not built for the pros, that's the whole point. We don't want to be for the pros. There's what pros are maybe 8% of golfers, if
Right.
that. 98% of everyone else is just going out and having fun. So it's the clubs that help you go out and still perform like you can. It's
Right.
nice.
Well, and I think that for whatever reason, golf probably more than any other sport, people think that, if Tiger's playing it, if Rory's playing it, if, whoever it is, whoever your favorite golfer is, they think if he's playing it, then I need to try it, or that should be what I'm using. I think it's almost insane, like the way that golfers are about equipment. There's no other sport like it because it's not like, I mean, if somebody goes out and plays softball on the weekends, it's not like they're like, "Hey, Ken Griffey Jr. is using a piece of wood," and God, I just dated myself by saying Ken Griffey Jr. But
You're good.
but I'm just saying, like nobody's saying, "Hey, I got to use a wooden bat because my favorite pro baseball player uses a wooden bat."
Correct. And I mean, it's proofs in the pudding. You don't got the swings that those guys do. So
No
it's just
doubt.
like, I can't tell you how many of my friends are just like, no, I'm going to go out and buy those $1,500 iron sets. And then they go out, hit them, and they're like, oof, I can't hit these at all. And it's like, because they're not made for you, man. They're built for the pros that don't miss, hit the center of the club face every time, and play for 10 hours a day for the last however long. And they're generally are more just naturally gifted than a lot of us. So um,
Yeah,
it's
it may hurt the ego to admit it, but you're right.
it's tough. There's a lot of people out there. I mean, we all got the ego, but once you swallow the pride a little bit and you're like, you know what? Let's take a step back. Let's try these clubs. I can actually afford to go golf now instead
Right?
of spending all my money on clubs. I can go out, maybe get a lesson if you're up for that. Maybe buy a round of drinks for your friends at the bar. Like that's the nice thing about the clubs is you'll go out and still have the money to improve your game elsewhere. So
So let's take a step back because we kind of jumped into it, but tell my audience about BombTech. Tell me like kind of how the company started, tell us all
yeah,
about it.
we did definitely just dive headfirst in there. So BombTech was started back in 2012. We are a Vermont company, so tough place to start a golf club company is when you get winter 6 months out of the year, but we're doing it and we're making it work. So we started back in 2012. Sully is the founder. He worked with the University of Vermont grad students to work on the dual cavity design, which is what you see in our drivers, those the nice big cavities. So that helps with the aerodynamics and the ball flight. So that was their capstone project back in 2012. That was the original grenade. We are now on our 4.0 version of clubs, irons, driver, wedges, putter. We got everything. But yeah, it started back in 2012 when Sully just wanted to break into the market and find something for the average golfer. So
Did he have a passion for the game? Was it
he
like,
did.
okay,
Yeah, big passion for the game. He grew up playing, was actually a former long drive competitor as well. So always, uh, always had the passion for golf, and then started assembling clubs in his basement at the start. We have now grown to out of the basement, thankfully, or else my wife would already hate me more than I have. But so many clubs already. It looks like a pro shop. It's crazy out there, but no, it's we're all passionate about golf. We have a super small team now. It's me. I do the social. If you reach out to customer service, you're going to get Mike. He's amazing. So any questions, comments, concerns, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We are happy to help. And we love answering all the questions we can. I see every Facebook comment, Instagram comment. We reply to everything because we really just do care about what you guys have to say because we take user feedback and then put that into the next model. So
very
we
cool.
see what people have to say about the 4.0s and what we can improve. And the nice thing about being a smaller company, we don't need to release a club every year like all the big dogs who just will pump you with an extra half a yard and another $300. So we only launch products when it does out and when it does outperform the current model. There we go. That was a mouthful. So if it's underperforming, if we're not completely satisfied with it, it's staying in the lab until we are like, this is the one. So we love all the feedback we can get because it really does make a big deal.
That that's fantastic. And everything is direct to consumer as well, correct?
Yep. Yep. We are all online. We just barely got on Amazon kind of recently.
Okay.
So if you don't want to go to our website, we are on Amazon. We know people love their Prime shipping. Uh, but I will say our shipping does compete with Prime. It's 2 to 5 business days generally what you'll get it in. So um, now it's really good. So
That's fantastic. So talk to me a little bit about, as far as for your consumer, and it may be something you guys have received feedback on or not, but to me, like the direct to consumer, especially during COVID, it really kind of it put rocket fuel into the DTC brands, whether it was golf, uh, shaving razors. I mean, like all kinds of stuff. I mean, just it really did like, just jumpstart stuff. Did you guys see that same thing? Like, was it like, or has it always, because I know you guys have always been a DTC brand, but
yep.
did you see the same bump when COVID happened, or is it something to where you guys were steady the whole time?
So we definitely, I mean, golf was the only thing apparently you could do during COVID. So I think everyone in the golf industry saw a bump. Us especially just like being a D2C golf brand, you're
Yeah.
not able to go to the stores and shop. So people were more up to buying online and stuff. But I would say COVID was pretty good for most companies in the golf space, just because, again, it was the only thing that you could do. You could go out, social distance. I still think we should bring back COVID putting rules. That's just
Hey,
me. I would make way more birdies if there was a noodle in the cup still, but
no
that's
argument
just
here.
me. Yeah, right.
No, I think it's interesting. Like through the fall last year on the show, we did kind of we called it uh professional at anything but golf. We did a whole series, and I really honestly that was one of the like not the first time I've seen y'all's stuff a lot, but I really felt like you guys fit that tremendously. I mean, it's that because to your point, when we're talking about comparing it to something that the pros are playing, like everybody wants to play better. Like they want to feel good about their game. It's not
Yep.
necessarily that they want to go out and break par all the time, but they want to go out and feel like that that they can control their ball, that they're not losing it into the woods all the time. I I feel like BombTech really kind of checks all those boxes as far as being for that regular guy or that woman who's out there
Yep.
wants to play the game but is just looking to have a good time.
Yep. Absolutely. And we do get a lot of women who use our clubs and find success. We are just like in the men's market right now, but something we are looking into. But we do get a lot of women who use them and find success. And like you said, they're going to allow you to play a little bit better than your game because of the forgiveness of them. Like I said,
Right.
you heel it or toe it, it's going to go where you want. I towed one the other day that I was like, oh my God, that's a horrendous shot. And then I look up and it's 10 feet from the pin. I'm like, okay, that's great.
I can deal.
So yeah, exactly. So that stuff's super nice. One of like the big things I love about, like I said, I'm on the Facebook comments. I do all the socials. So I see comments and I love when people are like, I bought this set. I had a 10-year hand-me-down set that I bought at a garage sale. I said, it's finally time for me to invest a little bit in my game. And I did it. And then they're like, I shot 6 strokes better instantly.
Right.
And it's just like stuff like that just is like it's proof in the pudding. It's just like that's great. Like you're gonna go out because again, these clubs that aren't designed for you aren't going to be forgiving. So if you mishit it, that thing is gone. It's gone. You're just never seeing that ball again. So just being able to knock a couple strokes, it's like a stroke a hole here or there. It's like
Yeah,
okay, I duffed a chip here with the wedges. I'm not duffing that chip now because they're so forgiving.
no
So
doubt.
it's nice.
No, so talk to me a little bit about the fact, a lot of people will try to sell people that getting custom fit or getting things fit to them matters. What are your thoughts on that?
So to a certain extent, yes, like people are going to be different. Like if you're 6'6", these clubs are probably going to be a little short for you. With that being said, we're always happy to work with you. We sell grips, so we would just send you an extra grip set if you know you're going to get them extended like an inch. It's just nothing we do in house at the moment. Um, but again, like the fitting process, if you are nowhere near being decent enough to get fitted, I would say go take a couple lessons first and figure out your swing. And then, because if you're just, again, if you're in a spot where you're shooting a 120 and you go get fitted, they're going to say, oh, yeah, you need these TP5s
Right.
or just these $2,000 irons that Tiger swings. And you're just like, I'm not at that skill level, though. But they're like, no, that's what you need. That's what your swing says. And it's like, no, your swing says you need a lesson, pal. Like that's what it says. So again, that's get the clubs, go get a lesson, and then instantly between the
Right.
forgiveness and you taking it a little bit seriously and trying to learn about your game, even just being more aware. I've just been so much more aware in my own game recently,
Yeah.
where it's just like taking the time, be like, I felt myself go over the top on that swing. It's like, all right, I know the problem. It wasn't the club's fault, that's for sure. So it's just like just being able to improve yourself with the help of the clubs.
No, I think it's a great point, and I think even I think I play with a lot of guys that have different and varied skill levels, and what you said to me that really resonated with me is that your money probably is much better spent on lessons than trying to tweak your golf set per se. And it's if people would spend more effort and more time on improving themselves rather than improving what they play. Again, I think it goes back to that whole sports analogy that I always think about. Golf is such a weird game in the sense that people think they can buy a game. And it's like if I go out and shoot hoops, if I'm shooting free throws or trying to make a three-pointer, I'm not going to go out and buy a new basketball because I think that
Nope.
that it's going to improve my chances. I'm not going to go out and buy a new baseball glove because I think it's going to help me catch the ball. It's a crazy mentality that golfers have that they think that what they're putting in their hands is going to magically give them a game.
Yeah. You see it time and time again, man. You can't escape it. And it's a great point. Like you said, if I can't buy a free throw. So like
No.
I can't buy a new free throw. I have to go, I have to put the time in. put the reps. So it's like just go hit a bucket of balls like every now and then. Like there's so many guys that'll just buy the new set of clubs and then they'll go out 3 times a year and be like, man, I can't hit these clubs.
Yeah.
And there's the 3 times they go golfing, and it's like,
Right.
well,
Surprise, surprise.
yeah, exactly. And that's
So
one of the nice things about the clubs too. I don't think we've touched on it. Is you do get a 60-day trial, so you
we
can
did not
put
touch
them to
on it.
test. Yeah, so you once you buy them, you can put them to test on your course for 60 days. Um, that's a hell of a lot of golf if you golf a decent amount within that 60 days. So we're pretty confident that you're going to love them once you try them out. Um, yeah, so basically, if you don't like them for any reason, you just reach out to us. But we get very little people reaching out at the end of that 60 days. So it's
That
nice.
was going to be my follow-up there was what's the percentage of people that take you up on your offer?
Under 3%, I think, at this point. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
I get a I got a picture of Johnny Drama in my head from Entourage when he's smashing Tom Brady's driver. So,
Yeah, great show.
so I know I'm about to ask you to call one of your kids ugly here, but do you have a favorite club or a favorite something that you guys have designed as a company?
So my favorite clubs to use personally. So I the left-handed clubs, first of all, that would be my answer because I'm a lefty. I've been here for 5 years pushing for it, so we finally got them. So those would be my favorite
Nice.
personally, and it's the general population answer as well. It's the wedges. The wedges are insane. A lot of people, like we talked about earlier, who come from like a hand-me-down set or something, they're like, I got a pitching wedge and a random 60 degree that I found from a random garage sale. So they don't
Right.
have the clubs from within 100 yards to make a big difference. Like the 56 out the sand is insane. The 60 green side is great. And I've used my 52 from like full swings from 100, and I've thrown more darts with that club in the last 2 seasons than I have ever in my life thrown a dart. So um, the wedges are the top dogs, and we proudly put those head to head against any wedges that you get for $150 a wedge.
And you
So
wouldn't even you wouldn't think so from a company called BombTech. You wouldn't I would have never guessed that you would have said the wedges.
yeah, the wedges are great. The driver, I mean, all of our clubs are great. The wedges though are just because people I feel like are more when we talked about the egos and the being like product focused, guys aren't going to get rid of their $600 driver that quick.
Right.
They might be more open to trying the wedges where it's like, okay, I get 3 wedges for $137. I might as well try them out. And they try them out and they're like, oh, these are just as good as my $150 per wedge
Right.
at, and I'm getting all three for less. So they're like, all right, let's go try something else. Um, in terms of a new club that we've put out recently, the Nine Wood, that club is actually insane. We did a bunch of ambassador testing with that when we were in the testing process. So we send them to a bunch of people who have tried our clubs previously and just have given feedback. And it was a resounding, oh my God, this needs to go to the market now. It's basically a 4 or 5 iron replacement. So if you don't hit those high irons really well, this club is insane. 24 degrees aloft. It's a wood that you hit and that ball just dies once it lands. You're getting action on it. It's actually insane. So
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. We'll make sure that we put links to everything at the bottom of this video as well
cool.
when we put stuff out so that people can actually access it and take a look at what you have to offer. You know,
Please do.
I think some of the cool stuff you guys do as well is not just your clubs. You guys do a lot of soft goods as well. Um, I thought one of the coolest head covers that I've seen for a driver is your grenade that you guys do.
Well, I appreciate that. We just brought that back kind of recently. It was so we had it in an ad and everyone was just like, where is that head cover? And we're like,
Right.
all right, let's bring it back. So I definitely appreciate that. You know, when you see it, you're like, that's one of my favorite things about the brand as well as like the color scheme and like the black and green is
Yes.
you like you'll just be walking on the driving range and I'll just look over and I'll see it and I'll just be like, that's a BombTech club, and I'll just walk over and be like, hey, how's it going? And just chat them up for a little bit. But you know when you see a BombTech out in the wild, it's very nice.
That's awesome. That's very cool. So before we wrap it up, if people are interested, if they'd like to learn more about BombTech, if they're interested in getting a club in their hands, where's the best place that they can go?
You can reach out to us. We have a bunch of, again, one of the great things about us is if you reach out to us, you're actually going to get a person who uses BombTech.
Yep.
So you can DM us on Instagram, support at bombtechgolf.com as our email. We have a phone number, 844-975-5101. We have a chat on the website. All of those are going to go to myself or Mike.
Nice.
Um, so if you reach out, like I know we've gone to a few other websites to see what they offer for customer service, and I'll tell you what, you can't even find a phone number. So if you have any questions at all, I can't reiterate it enough. We love talking to people. So it really is like we are an extension of you guys. Think of us as you're the buddy who's hanging out at the 19th hole at the clubhouse waiting for you to get done your round, and we got a beer ready for you to chat it up. So that's what we're here for. So yeah, any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Very cool. I'd be remiss if I did not ask you this before we wrap this up. Drink of choice on the course.
Drink of choice on the course. I mean, it's got to be a transfusion, right? It's kind of a cop out answer. I have those long drinks. Have you tried
Yep,
the long drinks?
I
Those
have.
are pretty good. I haven't tried the zero sugar one yet. I'm trying to be a good boy and watch my weight and my sugar intake still. So like tequila soda, maybe lemon lime, like if we're watching the waist, but yeah, whatever's gonna help me swing better. There's a good answer.
Shout out to John Daly for the Good Boys, the
Ooh,
vodka
okay.
teas that he made as well. Those things are fantastic, but I can't stop drinking them. They need to have a little stiffer taste to them because they go down like real iced tea.
Yeah. My wife, who doesn't drink much, tried one of those long drinks and was just like, "Oh, this is alcoholic." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, this is going to be dangerous." So, no, maybe put a little warning on there. Just, hey, these taste way better than the
Absolutely.
strength of them.
Well, Willis, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I think, like I said, you and your brand, you guys match exactly what my audience is. It's those folks that are professional at anything but golf. And I can't thank you enough for being on the show. And we look forward to hopefully having you on to talk more golf, just just for fun sometimes as well.
Absolutely, man. You know how to get a hold of me now. I really appreciate you getting me on. I'm new to the podcast space, so if I rambled, I'm sorry, guys, but I appreciate it. And like I said, don't hesitate to reach out to us, guys. We really love it. So thank you
I
once
think
again.
you're natural. You handled it just fine. So again, thank you very much, and we'll catch you down the road.
Perfect. Sounds good.